giveaways, and I'm not hitting it to first, and I'm not hitting it to second. And I'm also not hitting it to third. I'm hitting a home run. This is the world's best and most ethical Tesla giveaway ever. I feel like that's a pretty good intro. Now, I'd never given away a car before, so to be honest, I didn't fully know what I was getting myself into at this point. But I did know that I wanted this to be the ultimate Tesla giveaway. I want people leaving this video thinking, holy shit, that was epic, which could only mean one thing. I had to do this as responsibly and ethically as possible. I needed to be aware of anything and everything that could go wrong. So I sat down and did some research. Okay, let's search Tesla giving. I surprised my brother with a Tesla. I surprised my wife with a dream car. Surprising my best friend with a new Tesla. What I'm gathering so far is that this has to be a surprise. According to these really popular YouTube videos, 2.8 million views, 21 million views. Viewers like it when it's a surprise. I guess that makes sense. I don't think it'd be very exciting if I like picked a person to give a Tesla to, and then like together for months we sort of like planned on getting a Tesla. Well, I get all the finances in order and I like let them pick out all the things that they want in the Tesla. No. Okay, so I gotta brainstorm ways I can surprise them. Let's watch this video. I surprised my wife with her dream car. Maybe there's some good ideas in here.
So I bought my wife a brand new Tesla Model X. However, first I had to prank her that we crashed the car her parents bought her when she graduated. We also spray painted her old car with chalk, and eventually, well, you'll see as you watch the video.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to go the prank route. The only way I can think of to one-up this, I mean, he already is like destroying her old car. How can I one-up that? By, okay, when I pick the person to give the Tesla to, I have to destroy something that's not their car. Something that won't even be replaced by their car. Okay, guys, but before I can give away this Tesla to some lucky guy, first I gotta make him think that I've kidnapped his parents. And I'm actually gonna make him think he's gotta pay me $10,000, otherwise I'm putting a bullet in both of their heads. Yeah, actually, maybe the way I can improve upon this format is by not doing it at all. Maybe we can just nix the whole prank part of it, right? Just get straight to the point. Hey, I'm giving you a car. Here's the car.
Oh my goodness! It's beautiful! Is this mine?
This is your new Tesla. Look, we got the bow.
It's so pretty!
Wait, Bree, it gets
What?
better.
What?
This is your key now to your brand new Tesla.
Stop!
Wait, it gets even better. I'm gonna give you the key to the new car that is yours. So you won't just only be able to look at it, you'll be able to drive it too. You'll actually be able to get inside of the car that I bought for you. See, I told you, it gets a lot better. Okay, so that's all good and fine. I think I've got a good baseline for what a Tesla giveaway is supposed to look like and how I can improve upon it. But there are a few other things I'm worried about. The more I think about giving someone this really expensive electric car, the more I'm realizing that there's a lot that could go wrong in this that could actually end up having like a really negative impact on the person's life that I'm giving this car to. Before YouTube and these like lavish Tesla giveaway videos and $1 million challenge videos existed, people used to get their fix of watching ordinary people win super nice gifts by watching game shows and like HGTV home remodeling shows. And if you've ever read up on what can happen behind the scenes and after a lot of these shows end, you might know that unfortunately giving people really exorbitant gifts could actually have a really negative impact on their life. Let's talk, for example, if you were to win like HGTV's sweepstakes that they do every once in a while where they give away like $1 million smart home. So if you're like a somewhat average person and you make like $60,000 a year and all of a sudden you win $1 million home, in general, the companies and people that run these sweepstakes don't pay for anything except for the house. So they give you the house and then everything else is up to you. So that's like homeowners insurance, property tax, and all of a sudden you've got all of these responsibilities, and even if you like accept the house and then realize what a big responsibility this is, then you have to try to sell the house, which can be really difficult also. Not to mention, when you win $1 million prize, the government doesn't really know how to classify that, so they just classify it as income. So if you make like $60,000 a year and you win this house, all of a sudden the government says, oh no, you actually don't make $60,000 a year. This year, you made $1,060,000. So instead of paying 20% of $60,000, you actually now have to pay whatever the tax bracket is, like 30% of $1 million in taxes. And the same type of thing can happen when you give away a Tesla. One of the big advantages of having an electric car is that you can charge it at home and you never have to go to the gas station again. But if you live in an apartment building that doesn't have a charger installed, you'll actually have to go to a supercharger every time you want to charge it and spend like 30 minutes waiting there for your car to charge, which is obviously a lot slower because charging an electric car is a lot slower than filling up a gas car with gasoline. Plus you have to pay insurance on the car, which for electric vehicles is often more than even a gas-powered car that costs the same amount. It's kind of sounding right now like the point I'm trying to make is that like people who aren't already rich can't win nice things. And that's not the point I want to make. Anybody should be able to win a nice car, but I just don't want to give someone a car that ruins their life, you know? Call me crazy. So how do we fix this and make it work? Well, first thing I could do is what a lot of other YouTubers do and mostly give Teslas to their already rich YouTuber friends who won't necessarily struggle if they have to pay an extra few $1,000s in taxes that year. When YouTubers do give away cars to non-YouTubers, I'm really not sure exactly what they do. I did manage to find like one terms of conditions of a sweepstakes David Dobrik did, and in there it specifically said like, you will win this car. If you don't want the car, you cannot have cash instead. You have to take the car or you get nothing. Which, as we discussed, is basically like saying, if you're not already wealthy, this is not for you. This is really a giveaway for people who could have afforded a Tesla anyway. To get a better idea of what could go wrong giving away a car, I reached out to one of my followers, Monica, who just a few years ago had won an expensive car from a raffle and ended up not even being able to claim her prize. I kind of just wanted to hear your story about, you said you won a car from like a sweepstakes, is that right?
It was actually a raffle, but same thing. I paid $25, me and all my friends did, and there was like 6 of us. And they gave me a call back the next day and I was like, hell yeah, I got a car. Was not as sick as I thought it was gonna be, dude.
When you initially won the car, I would imagine you were like pretty excited, right? Did they like explain to you what that entailed like right away?
No, so they had a salesperson call me and it was for an Audi. So I was like, yeah, I drive a fucking Honda Accord. I want an Audi.
Yeah.
So when the salesperson called me, he told me that he was gonna need a bunch of information from me, including insurance information. And at the time I didn't have a car, so I was looking into insurance. I would have been 19 at the time. Insurance was through the roof for me. That would have been like $350 easily.
Yeah.
Per month. And I don't have money like that. I don't have expenses like that. That would have been my second highest bill next to my rent. And on top of that, I didn't read it, but if you looked at the tickets really, really tiny, it says, we may help with paying taxes.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, what does that mean? When I was talking to him, he was just like, yeah, so we just need a check for about $3,700. And I was like, what? And it just came out of nowhere.
Was that like the sales tax for the car?
Yeah, so the $3,700 was just sales tax. And I was like, oh, I don't have that. I asked him, I was like, is there lesser options that I could go for so that the $50,000 would actually completely cover it? And he was like, no. And then I was like, okay, can I just get cash? And he was like, no. And then after a while, he was just like, we're just going to have to go forward with another raffle ticket winner. And I ended up finding out that it was like some person that was well enough off to be able to pay for it themselves. And I was like, oh, okay.
So you would have had to pay sales tax on the car plus insurance for the car. And then I would imagine the government would count that as just income. So it's almost like now instead of however much you were making before, you're actually making $50,000 more than that. It would put you into like a different tax bracket. And so you would actually end up having to pay more income tax that year too, which would be money that you might not have. Do you?
Oh no, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. He also had a rule in the like thing that I was okay with abiding by because I didn't know I would be like thrown around like trash. The rule was that you couldn't sell the car for a year.
Oh, wow. If you had not really thought it through and you had accepted the car just because you figured it would have been great to have, and then you realize a couple months in that this is like costing you so much money, you wouldn't even been able to sell it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would imagine that if you're gonna give out a car to anyone like under a certain age or anyone who hasn't purchased a car themselves, it should be very black and white explained to them on paper so that it's easy for them to understand what exactly is happening. At the same time, like sometimes people are just so blinded by it, especially when you get a car that can really change your life.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Monica. I really appreciate you doing this, especially on like such short notice. That was very cool of you.
Yeah, of course, dude. You have a good one, okay?
All right, yeah, it was nice meeting you, Monica. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the nicest person of the whole world? Who should get the Tesla? Who am I gonna give this Tesla to? I've been thinking a lot about this, okay? There's a couple different routes I could go. One of the most common things that YouTubers do in Tesla giveaways is give it to someone that they already know, whether it be like a family member or your wife or like one of your YouTuber friends who's already rich and like probably could have bought a Tesla for themselves if they wanted to. But that's not how we're gonna do it here. I'm thinking we make this a little more spicy. I've been thinking about it. I wanna give it to someone who follows me. I wanna reward my loyal audience, the people watching this video. Also, you know, like whenever Mr. Beast gives away something crazy, he's like, this guy was just some random subscriber and we're flying him to the moon. So make sure you subscribe because you could win a great gift. So subscribe to my channel and maybe you could win a Tesla in the future. Am I gonna do this again? You know, I'm not gonna answer that. I wanna give it to someone who watches my videos, but I also wanna give it to